What is up, fellow YouTubers? So we're back with another video. I appreciate all the love and support that I got on my live stream earlier. And I got a drink combo. We're gonna load that up here in a second. But I got a gender relations rant because there seems to be an epidemic of overly entitled women and like men who are afraid to approach said women, and we're just going to tear gender relations a new cunt. And before I make this video, I'd like to disclaimer: the only reason why I care about women's rights is because nobody gives a fuck about men's rights. And all these political arguments of what about my rights, what about my rights, and like if you don't care about someone else's rights who truly deserves it, because fuck sickos, then I don't know what to tell you, dude. I really don't. I'm pulling on that Mad Dog 2020. What's up? Gonna hit that with some Jack Daniels. I'm gonna jack me off of all trades. Okay, yeah, a splash of that. And then oh yeah, I can smell that coming out of the glass. Delicious. We're gonna hit that with some of our Mountain Dew Voltage. What? No idea how it's gonna taste, but Potions Class is in session. Okay, a little splash of that. Let's try a sip. I saw a clip on Sydney Watson's newest video, Are Women Okay? And I'm just sitting here like, oh. Apparently some random chick made a jeans commercial. And of course, a white woman making a jean commercial. Everyone's offended. And this isn't a response to Sydney's, but like a general response to the whole vibe of things. I haven't watched Sydney's newest video fully through because I got to the clip of like the chick in the orange dress and the things she said, and I just stopped and I went, how about no? And it got me like this brilliant twisted mind of mine thinking, we need to do another gender relations rant. I know the world's sick and tired of me bitching about the battle of the sexes crap, but someone has to say it, you know. I try to do so in a way that's fair and not completely ripping women apart. But at the same time, when you contribute to your own fucking problem, it is sad. This is, of course, excluding women of the modern dating area who are not single, but like if you're taken and you're in a healthy relationship, good. Have at it, girl boss. Make it happen. But a lot of women are single because of a number of reasons, and it's painful to watch because there are plenty of good guys like me out there who would take you in a heartbeat and make you feel like the queen, the goddess, and the princess you deserve to be treated like. But women expect this mentality without giving anything back in exchange. And then they want to get mad when certain members of the opposite sex act entitled to your sex parts. It's kind of hypocritical, but like the thing about hypocrisy is it takes two people to be a hypocrite, you know, at least one or two. Neither here nor there, but Mad Dog 2020 with some Jack Daniels, some Mountain Dew Voltage. That's not half bad. That's the fun of making a drink combo. You don't know how it's going to turn out, but you try it anyways because that's the spice and the adventure of life. But like, there's a lot to unpack with what I'm about to say, so I just want to get to the clip that I saw. I saw this clip in Sydney Watson's newest video, and I seen that clip along with this other chick making rounds on the social media. You know, fucking. I had a pretty mild thunderstorm earlier. It seems to have calmed down for a bit, so everything's going to be moist with summertime rain. 1 second. I love the smell of a good summertime rain. That is majestic. So to give you a context of what's about to happen, there's this clip in a Sydney Watson video, and the clip involves a moderately attractive blonde wearing a tight orange dress. She's not by any means necessarily unattractive. She's just bitchy and in a fucking mood because guys didn't hit on her. And when you hear what she has to say about it, she's probably been drinking, and it's just like, I'll let actions speak louder than words. And the way she's acting, I'm just like, no.
Together, we make one barely functioning adult human. In the last week or so, we've had women lamenting that men don't approach them out in public anymore. I better pay attention to me tonight. I'm so sick of this shit.
Like, oh my god, here we fucking go. This woman's walking out with her gal pal. She's putting on the tight dress. She's putting on the makeup. And she's throwing a fit because guys won't pay attention to her. And she's so fucking sick of this shit. I'm like, honey, you suck my cock with that potty mouth? Because even guys can smell a thirst trap a mile away.
Oh my god. Touch a boob, buy a drink. I mean, it's like very simple.
Oh, did you hear what she said? Touch a boob, buy a drink. It's just that simple. Okay, actually, speaking as a gentleman, I'm not going to touch your boob unless I have consent to do so. You know, like, this bitch is fucking dumb, dude. I saw that clip on the new Sydney Watson video as I was preparing to do the video response. This other video, and I'm like, this can add to, like, my data, so to speak. And, like, if guys aren't approaching you, gee, I wonder why, because, Cobra's kind of an ass when I drink. I'm not gonna lie, I'm an ass when I drink. A smart ass, but... And the reason why men aren't approaching you is because society has told women that it's sexist for men to try. And if they don't try, then they're incels and faggots and losers. So you're an ass for trying and an ass for not trying. And I'm just sitting here like... You'll catch more flies with honey. Do women want to date men who are constantly acting entitled to pussy because they have a dick? And then they expect you to pay for everything? You know what I'm saying? Women would fucking hate it. That being said, men are the prize because we are the providers and the protectors. So if she rejects you, that's her fucking loss. 100%. If the best she can offer you is good sex, any woman can give you that, fellas. That doesn't make her special because women are more than just sex. See what I did there? And with relationships, it is give and take. So now we circle around to this awesome YouTuber here who says, beautiful women wonder why men don't approach them. Okay, let's have a listen.
There's a really interesting trend at the moment of very attractive women complaining.
Another woman that's making the rounds on social media these fine couple of weeks. You see a moderately attractive woman. She's wearing this little green hoochie mama top, her little booty black shorts, and she's going for a jog on the back path. Let's see how this plays out.
That men are no longer approaching them. And I find this absolutely fascinating. So, when I was a young man...
It's not fucking fascinating. It's basic fucking human psychology 101. Women got sick and tired of men approaching them because they perceive all men to be creeps and rapists and shit. So we stop approaching them, and now they're bitching because men don't notice them. These fucking slags on The View who are just like, we gotta teach men to stop being rapists. I'm like, yeah, teach men not to rape. I'm all for that. But we can also teach women not to hate men and assume that every man's a fucking rapist, serial killer, pig, piece of shit, misogynistic, piece of crap, incel, faggot, asshole, loser. Sorry.
I only plucked up the courage to actually just walk up to a random woman on the street once.
And that's the fucking epidemic we are facing in today's society. Men are becoming pussified. They're afraid to approach women. What's the worst you can do? Punch you in the dick, slap you in the face, mace you, call you a creep, accuse you of rape? Like, okay, so now you can't even check out a woman without some women getting so offended that they literally accuse you of raping you with their eyes, kind of thing, you know? And it's just like, wait a second. I was just acknowledging what I like seeing. I'm sorry. Does that make me a bad person? No, it makes me human. Like, how the fuck are you gonna bitch when men check you out and then bitch when they don't check you out? That's the kind of crap that makes men go, psh. And dating is worth the struggle. You just gotta find the right one.
Because she was really attractive and say, hey, would you like to go out? She turned me down, right? Every other time I've got girlfriends or...
Look. You want Cobra's secrets to approaching the ladies? Put on some tactical soap products and take a casual, confident, hands-off approach. Tell her a joke, buy her a drink, and if you make her laugh, you know what I'm saying? Like, there you go. And if you're good at what you're doing when it comes to the ladies, her female friends will fight over her for you. I saw him first. No, you didn't, slut.
women who've been interested.
You want to tell them a funny joke? I got jokes. What's a guitarist's favorite swimsuit? A G-string.
Me. They've basically come to me and sort of signaled to me that they're interested. And so, frankly, I've never been...
Here's the thing of it. You got this chick who's in a jog in the park on a bike path, showing off what her mama gave her. She's not what you would call unattractive by any stretch of the imagination. She's definitely a good-looking woman, but she's complaining because guys don't notice her. See, here's the thing of it. It doesn't matter how attractive you are as a female. If you're a drama-causing slut and you're nothing but fucking trouble and you're self-entitled, men are not going to put up with it. It doesn't matter if you're like super busted ass ugly or like supermodel status. If you're an insufferable human being, you're going to have a hard time with dating. And then you want to sit there and blame all your exes or all the negative experiences you have on dating. And it's like, shut the fuck up. Because if men pulled this crap, you would call us incels. You know what I'm saying? So like, you created the problem that you're now bitching about. Let me know how that works out for you.
The sort of like, walk up to a girl and just start chatting her up type.
And I'm like, it doesn't matter how hot the chick is, any girl can provide what she gives you. So if she says no, that's her fucking loss. She'll bitch and complain because the guy she wants will reject her because her butt's not big enough, but she'll reject you because she thinks you're a creep. And I'm like, that's rich. Because when you go into a bar, let me give you like a really shitty example of what I'm laying down here. You're going to think I'm an ass for saying it, but hear me out. You and your gal pals are going out for drinks at the bar. Every group of gal pals has the ugly friend because it makes every other chick in that group feel prettier about themselves. Wham. She sees a guy she wants to talk to, but she doesn't have the confidence to do it. And I'm like, you know what? Guys dig confidence as much as chicks do. Even if you're not my type, at least you have the balls to try, and you'll earn my respect just for doing that. And she'll walk up to that guy and be like, hey, my friend thinks you're cute. She's having a rough night. Can you buy her drinks? Make her feel pretty? What's she look like? She points her out to the dude. He's like, whoa, Jesus Christ. Not enough Jack Daniels to make that look pretty. Holy shit. Jack Daniels helping ugly ass motherfuckers get laid since the 1800s. And she'll bitch and moan and complain. You're shallow and all guys are the same. Don't you dare say all chicks are the same because that makes you a raging sexist. Now we flip the situation. Hear me out. You and your gal pals are fresh in college. You're showing off your bods. You're having a juicy gossip moment, pigging out on Cinnamon and Starbucks and this and that, what have you. And here comes some 400-pound dude overweight with these beady little serial killer eyes and his fucking guts bigger than his dick. And he's got more hair on his stomach than he does on his fucking head. And he's sitting there picking Cheetos crumbs out of his belly button. And he walks up to you cute ladies and he says, if you were a Twinkie, I'd eat you out. Hey, you want to come down to my mom's basement and play duck hunt? I got pizza rolls. Every chick's going, blah. But when it comes to like the chick trying to help her ugly friend get laid, she'll call him shallow and go, hey, you know what? She's got a great personality. You shouldn't judge her by the way she looks. That does not apply to everyone else now, does it?
But that...
I mean, he could be a great guy, you know. You don't know what he's all about.
Most of the time women will signal when they are interested in you.
Oh, yeah, when a woman digs what you're all about, she'll let you know. Like, the thing about, like, when women want to let you know how attracted they are to you, women are very subtle with their hints. And let me give some advice to the ladies. If you want your man, you want that guy you like, you got to be more direct with your communication because men do not pick up on subtle hints. When it comes to like dating, men are sick and tired of the entitlement and the head games and the drama and the bullshit. Like, because in your fucking female brain, you think if I give him drama and all he's gonna do is look at that and go, no.
And if you're interested back, you can pick it up and go from there.
It's like you want to pick up on chicks, wear some tactical soap, take a hands-off approach, and don't give a shit if you get laid, and don't give a shit if women find you attractive regardless of the soap or not, because men are the prize, we are the providers, we are the protectors. Otherwise, you wouldn't see a swarm, emphasis on the word swore/whorm, of women complaining on TikTok because they ain't found a man yet. And I'm like, you just gotta give that shit time, honey. There was way too much pressure on women to give out sex and men to get laid. And it creates this very toxic culture that surrounds the dating scene. Like,
but I think that there is at least a certain kind of woman who enjoys the attention.
Like, women enjoy the attention, of course they do. Who doesn't enjoy feeling attractive? Like, oh, hey, the opposite sex thinks I'm hot shit. Fuck yeah, that's a confidence booster. Women and men both feel that. But let me ask women, let me extend an olive branch to the ladies here. How would you feel if every time you asked out a cute guy, you know, you got perceived as a cunt and a slut, and yet you're not even trying to be like that. You just want some dick and you want some companionship. You know, you would fucking hate dating too. And then the second the same guys who pulled this crap started bitching because women don't find them attractive, you would lose your fucking collective fucking mind.
Right, who likes to know that actually she is an attractive woman and she's flattered.
And yes, flattered is definitely the word. Here's the thing of it. What I would tell women and men is stop giving a shit what people think about you. Who cares if you're attractive in someone else's eyes? Because here's the thing of it. You can find the hottest chick on the planet, but if her personality sucks, all you're going to get is good sex. And eventually you're going to get sick of it. And like, you got these less attractive women whose personalities suck just as much as the hotter chicks, and chicks in general acting more entitled and more shallow than the men they're complaining about. It's not going to do you any favors, ladies. Because speaking as a guy, men are very easy to please.
By men making the effort
and then acting like you don't got to make an effort to please men to get what you want. You're just expected to have what you want because you have a vagina and because men are all pigs. Fuck off.
Well, as this woman says, catcalling her. Let's listen.
Tell me why. Every day I go out, looking adorable, tits bouncing, skin boost.
Tits bouncing, she says, as she's trying as hard as she can to make her chesticles bounce for the camera.
And yet nobody ever hits on me or approaches me.
Because this is how it is with chicks. If you're the kind of guy she wants and finds sexy and attractive, she's not going to get mad if you hit on her. But if you're the kind of guy she's not into and she looks at you and then with her first, like men are the same way. Like if we see ugly people hitting on us, we don't want it. But like sometimes you can't be that picky, dude. And maybe you find a connection there. So like looks are not everything. It's all about personality and a healthy balance of looks. Because whether you like it or not, you could find that person super attractive. And if they don't find you attractive, it's just not going to work out, But like, you got this chick jogging in the park with a little hoochie mama top making her titties bounce. Like, You know what I'm saying? She's not that bad looking. Looking like a little delicious snack. This and that kind of thing. Complaining because guys won't hit on her. Yeah, but, okay, again, like, women like to be valued for their looks, even though it's disgusting, because women should be valued for more than just their looks. But we live in a society where women are overly sexualized and men are put underneath too much pressure to get laid. And it creates all this nasty negative BS on the dating scene, but I didn't say that out loud.
Oh my god, like please. I'll take a fucking construction worker cut call at this point.
So what happens when like women are starting to realize that men don't need sex to be happy in life? You know what I'm saying? Like, and the way you look at it, women are more than just sex. So when men are like, hey, we don't need a woman or sex to be happy because we're happy with ourselves and just what we're doing, all of a sudden now it's like, you're a pig because you can't handle a strong woman. I don't like it. Women are sitting there seeing themselves as, what it comes down to is the majority of modern day women just see themselves as sex objects because that's what they've been programmed to do. Modern day feminism has taught women to hate themselves, hate each other, hate men, and blame men for everything while expecting men to pay for everything. And if men try to pay for everything, it's benign sexism. And then, like, if we don't pay for it, then we're small dick bitches who can't afford to take care of a good woman kind of thing. And I'm like, women are more than just sex. So if all you have to offer that man is good sex, you know, do you have any interesting hobbies you want to share with him, kind of thing? Because I know I'm a beast in the sack, and I know I'm a fucking stud, and a lot of chicks want to bang me, and like, that's Jessica Boyle's loss. She fucked that up. Not my problem. And that's kind of what love's all about. You share your hobbies and your passions with your other half, kind of thing, you know.
Well, there are many people who are saying, well, this is another video of the woman in the orange
The woman in the orange, we talked about that earlier.
dress here. Again, very attractive.
That's what I'm saying. Like he didn't even watch the video in this video, but we already watched it because we got a clip of it. This fucking chick in the orange dress throwing a little femcel fit because guys didn't like grope her and hit on her. But then as soon as they try to grope her and hit on her, they're being too aggressive with their flirting, and they get smacked. And it's like, you want to talk about some bullshit. Like, if women get too aggressive with their flirting, men are not allowed to be as violent as women are in this subject. You can't punch him in the cunt, mace him in the face, or be like, get away from me, you rapist. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, like, society would look at you like you're a monster for hurting women. Like, okay, your fucking masculinity is measured by how much pussy you can get. And I'm like, it's disgusting, dude. Sometimes being a dude sucks, I'm not gonna lie, but it is what it is. And like, the things I get from being a dude, when I focus on the positives, and how I can use my platform as a man to like help women understand how men think, and then like use my feminine side to like help men understand how women think, and like we try to find a common ground here where it's like, you know. Excuse me. But excuse me. Excuse me. Khan writes on X, many women, not all women, spent the majority of the 2010s bitching about rape culture and misogyny and catcalling and the Me Too movement, and are now mad because young men aren't comfortable with approaching them. I mean, harsh but truth. Let's break this down. Bitching about rape culture. Yeah, okay, rape culture is a thing. There is way too much pressure on women to give out sex and for men to get it. And the second women do give it out, they're slut shamed. The second men aren't getting it, they're called a fucking incel. If they try to get it, they're simp shamed. And it's kind of bullshit, dude. And like, fuck rape. Misogyny. What about misandry? When women are fucking misandrous fucking cunts towards men, it's never called out. Misandry is basically the female equivalent of misogyny. And men don't call it out because you want to have sex with them. It's what it is. Like, I could call out her bullshit, or I could let her. Nah. Because men are simple and we understand how the game works. Catcalling. Okay, so you got a bunch of women who are bitching about catcalling, calling it creepy, and the second we give you what you want, okay, we'll stop catcalling you. Now you're fucking pissed off because men don't notice you. And the whole Me Too movement, kiss my ass. When men get raped, no one gives a shit. If you try telling a cop, hey, a woman raped me, he's not going to take you seriously because of all the negative stereotypes that face men. That men are all rapists. And all men want is one thing. You know, all the negative crap that associates with men. They only take it seriously when another dude does it, and then homophobia keeps kicking in. It's like, well, we'll catch this son of a bitch. So, like, you know, rape culture, as they describe it, is not what you would think. there is a rape culture, unfortunately, because LGB is allowed to have a thing. Now you have these assholes who identify as rape sexuals. And I'm like, it's stupid, dude. Like, LGB doesn't need any more negative publicity. And just because Caitlyn Jenner is allowed to have a thing doesn't mean you get to have a thing. Like, grow the fuck up. This is exactly why a lot of women get so mad when dudes hit on them. It's because of shit like this. Like, society is mentally exhausting anymore.
Women, and men are just not approaching them. And they're becoming frustrated by it. And as Con here points out,
so, like, both. Okay, so what have we learned in this video response? That men are frustrated because they can't approach women without being called a creep. And women are fucking pissed off because men won't approach them. And I'm sitting here like, well, not every man's a rapist, pig, piece of shit. And not every woman's a raging cunt. So, it's not that hard to figure out. Pardon my French. Sacré-Ville. So, like, women and men are literally contributing to this bullshit and then complaining about it. And I'm just like...
many women, not all of them, spent the majority of the 2010s bitching about rape culture and misogyny and catcalling Me Too, and now that you...
The hypocrisy of the woke culture and the Me Too movement is it's only important when it happens to everyone else. If you're white, straight, male, or cisgendered, nobody gives a shit. But then everyone else wants to bitch Me Too. So I'm like, I'm getting judged for my sexuality and for who I am as a person. My YouTube trolls love to bully me for hating pedophiles and shit. And then extremist members of the LGBT community will laugh at me because I'm straight and cis, you know. Oh, well, everyone's screaming how they're sick and tired of being judged for who they are as people. I'm like, you know what? I'm sick and tired of how fucking fake people are. Ozzy Osbourne's Dreamer. Without each other's help, there ain't no hope for us. And that's an honest and very modest way to live. If you can't figure it out, it's not my fucking problem at this point.
men aren't comfortable approaching them. You create the problem. I don't think it's just...
That's what I'm saying, like, the women here are creating the problem. You're bitching because men are creeps for trying to approach you. And then if they don't approach you, they're losers who can't handle a strong woman. And they're probably incels and faggots because they won't approach you. So they're a creep for trying, and they're an asshole for trying. And you wonder why men are just like... And the thing you have to realize, fellas, is not every woman is like this. That women and men basically want the same thing in a good, healthy relationship. You know, that's all I'm going to say on that.
Young men, although I think the age thing is an interesting question. I mean, this woman looks like she's in her early 20s.
That's what I'm saying. She's a very attractive young woman, and she's bitching because she can't find a man. And I'm like, here's the thing of it. Even when I hear ugly-ass women bitching because they can't get dick, I'm like, ugly dudes like me have to try twice as hard to get it. Most chicks take one look at me and go, ew. And then they hear me sing White Line when the children cry, and then panty dropper. I'm just saying. So if I didn't have my gift with animals and music and my attractive physical features, women wouldn't pay attention to me, to be honest. So I'm very grateful for my physical attractive attributes, and then all the other thing else that makes everything else that makes me who I am. Like, it makes me attractive to the ladies. If your first response to this video is like, oh, nothing makes you attractive to the ladies, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, okay, I acknowledge that I'm not the handsomest dude, but I got stuff that makes me fucking get noticed by the chicks. Whether you like it or not, people like King Cobra, so that makes you mad, quit watching my videos. Like,
And, well, do men in their early 20s actually...
this idea that men are afraid to approach women, here's the way I look at it. Women should feel safe around men, and men should never be scared of a woman, period. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be a dick, but when a chick loses her temper on me, I'm just like, aren't you adorable? I'm like, you could talk to me like a mature adult or continue throwing a little wobbler about it. Don't bother me that much.
spend a lot of time dating anyway? It seems that a lot of Gen Z are quite sharp.
Oh, Gen Z is incredibly shy about everything. Like, yeah, a sex life for a Gen Zer. You called out the wrong pronouns during sex, and now I need a mental month to recover from it.
Introverted, not great at approaching one another, and I mean,
It's fucking stupid, is what it is.
not entirely their fault. Probably a lot due to social media and the internet, and the fact that they've got phones.
Oh yeah, social media and the internet definitely make dating a lot harder than it needs to be, kind of thing.
So they don't have to actually go up and personally involve themselves. And they seem to have been losing.
The biggest problem with this is that men are afraid of rejection and they're afraid of what women are going to think of them. And I'm like, do I gotta punch you in the cunt as hard as I can? Because that's pussy shit, dude. You cannot be afraid of women, period. That doesn't mean you gotta be aggressive. It means you gotta be protective and you gotta man the fuck up. You got some woman who's having a power walk in the park. She's got her little dark green hoochie mama top on and their fucking tight ass. Like, men are very simple creatures of habit, you know? You don't gotta have like 10 pounds of makeup on to attract the ladies. Or to attract the dudes or whatever you're into. Like, if you're trying to attract a dude, at least from my experience, you don't have to have like 10,000 pounds of makeup to do it.
The customs on how to show someone that they're interested that isn't embarrassing or humiliating in some way, and
the trick is to be casual about it. You know, if the interaction feels forced, women are going to pick up on it. See, here's the thing of it. When, like, men are trying way too hard to get laid, every woman can spot that shit from a mile away. But when a chick's trying too hard to baby trap a dude, every dude can also spot it a mile away. And then these women will complain because the men didn't hit on them. Oh.
that protects the dignity of both people involved. And I don't blame them. I mean, these are things that I think generally haven't been well passed down. I remember my dad telling me, you've got to go and ask. And the worst she can say is no. I mean, that's not true. The worst she can do is laugh at you.
The best advice I've ever received. My granddad said, if you want the ladies to be nice to you, you gotta be nice to them. You're nicer to the ladies, they'll be nicer to you. And that's the truth. It's treat others the way you want to be treated. Stop making it about sex, gender, religion, and race. That's what divides us as a society.
But that hasn't happened to me, but I can imagine that happens, and it's absolutely harrowing. But at the end of the day, as a man, it's tough, and you will get over it. It's not the end of the world. But the times that it does work,
you will get over it once you realize that men are the prize, we are the protectors, we are the providers, we are the gatekeepers to a relationship. If you're going to scream at me that women are more than just sex, and then that's all you have to offer, and then get mad because I'm like, I appreciate the sexual advantages, but like your personality, you know.
when you think, okay, that woman actually seemed.
I have a lot of fangirls, and I also have a lot of troll haters. And some of my trolls are like ugly ass females who can't get laid. And they see King Cobra, and it's like it's everything they wanted. And they can't have it, and it makes them mad. Much like my trolls who can't get laid or get a girlfriend. So when they see me get one, they're like, well, I can't stand for this.
Quite like me, and I'm going to go up and ask her out. It's actually really gratifying, and you feel like you've accomplished something. I said I don't know.
You definitely feel like you've accomplished. Okay, men are constantly being told to grow a pair of balls and just do it. So I'm going to extend the same treatment to women. I don't give a fuck about your breast size, but grow a pair and fucking just do it. Like, women are constantly screaming how they want to be treated just like men. I'm like, okay, I'll give you what you want. I'll give you what you want. I'm all about gender equality and racial equality on my channel. If you want to hate me because I'm too brutally honest about it, it's not my fault.
Done once, but now I'm thinking about it. I have actually done it a few more times than that. It was only once that I walked past this woman, and I was just like, wow, she's really attractive. And I was single at the time, and walked up to her. But other times where it's, like, I had a date with a girl.
Like, most men who've been lonely enough aren't going to complain. It's like, okay, you're nice to us for a change. Because, shocker, men and women want the same thing when it comes to dating. Like, oh, you don't treat me like my gender's stereotypes. You don't treat me like my gender stereotypes. You're like, okay, I want to see what you're about before I make that harsh judgment. And you show her a good time, and she's like, hey, you know what? Cobra's alright. He gets it. Because there's a lot of negative stereotypes that women have to go through. And it's bullshit.
Who sold internet. She was, one of the women on the street, people on the street who were trying to sell broadband, whatever, like 15, 20 years ago. I can't remember how long now. And I didn't want it, but I ended up getting it because she was really cute. And I asked her on a date, and she was like, yeah, okay, great. It didn't go anywhere, but it was no big deal. But I ended up with that broadband for a goddamn year. But the point is, when you do it and it goes quite well, then okay, great, But anyway, that's what the point I'm making. The point I'm making is there's definitely an atmosphere that was created by the feminism of the 2010s. And this, I think, genuinely has had effects. I mean, Me Too, the hysteria about catcalling and misogyny and rape culture and all that sort of stuff. You can say thanks to Anita Sarkeesian, who...
You can talk all that. Hold on. You can talk all the shit you want to talk. But, like, women love being validated on the way they look, just like men love being validated on their strength. Like, maybe your old lady goes out and gets her hair done, and, like, she's hoping you'll notice, and she thinks, hopefully he likes it, da-da-da-da. Stop relying on what people think about you and just do your thing and be awesome.
Herself probably been catcalled 1 or 2 times. She's not hideous. But who had to marry herself incidentally. And now these women are feeling the effects of it. That's definitely an issue. And there are lots of women all over the place. It's not just like Tinder.
Women bitching because women hit on... Wait a second. Hold up. Women bitching because men hit on them, and then now they're bitching because men won't hit on them. Are you telling me that women are indecisive? No.
TikTok video. Like this one here. I'm wondering if guys still approach women they don't know but are attracted to. This basically never happens anymore.
It never happens anymore because guys are pussies. I'm like, there's a way of approaching women that doesn't involve being creepy. Even when you're not trying to be creepy, you're just trying to be casual with it. There are some women who take it as, oh, you creepy piece of shit. And that's very much frustrating. There we go.
I, as a woman, don't get approached while walking the street in a grocery store, etc. Men seem to like me at work and on dating apps, but...
Yeah, but here's the thing of it. Women complain because men try to approach them in public. And then we give them what they want. Okay, we won't approach you. My general response to dating is that you shouldn't approach women unless you see them at the bar. You shouldn't try to pick up on chicks when they're just trying to do the job. Like, I know a lot of men might see this as outrageous, but what if it were gender reversed and, like, men had to experience this shit and nobody cared because you were just supposed to take it because your gender was overly sexualized? You wouldn't like it either. Nope, that lizard's trying to pump off. Fuck off, you little twat. There we go. I was just saying.
The approach thing from strangers just doesn't happen. And what's really funny is they're going through this and they're like...
What's fucking funny is women are bitching because they're getting hit on, and then as soon as we quit hitting on them, Now they're bitching because they won't get noticed. I'm like, okay, so there's, you know what I'm saying? Like, women are just as shallow as men, and like, there's rules in place.
Oh, maybe we need to have some sort of social signal, like dropping a handkerchief, see if the guy's interested. And
And that's just it. Women shouldn't have to drop a handkerchief and then wait for the gentleman to pick it up and be like, ma'am, you dropped this. Like, no, the other day when I was at the post office and like, a very attractive female dropped her cell phone, I immediately picked it up for her because the thought I had was, if I lost this, I would be devastated. Not having a cell phone sucks. So, like, treating others the way you want to be treated. She could have been taken for all I know. It's none of my business. It's just all about being a gentleman and doing your thing, you know.
there was someone in this thread. I was reading through it before I started recording this. They're like, yeah, but what if the guy doesn't pick it up? That'd be devastating, absolutely devastating.
Who cares if the guy doesn't pick it up, honey? This is what I want to tell, like, women and men who are trying way too hard to get laid and find their other half. It's like, who cares if they don't pick? Who cares if the opposite sex doesn't pick up on it? Chill out, dude.
Um, I don't know. I can't find the thing, but okay, yeah, it would, but at least it wouldn't be like obvious. At least you could play it off as if, oh, I just dropped that. I didn't mean to drop it. I wasn't trying to signal. But anyway, so yeah, you've got like other videos of women who are just trying to think of ways to get guys to approach them.
I'm like, women don't have to try that hard to get guys to approach them.
Because again, like I think for a lot of women, it's not necessarily that they are, actually they want loads of guys to be hitting on them. But what I think it is just for them to feel secure about themselves, and also gives them something interesting to say about the night. Like it gives them a social
Social status. You're absolutely correct. Women who, even though women will sit there and bitch because every guy they want doesn't want them, and then every guy that wants them that they don't want will hit on them. You know, they'll still sit there and be like, "Oh look at all these guys that fucking wanted her," blah blah blah. They'll still make it. As they'll still make a social status out of it, just so they can have something to brag about. It's called cunt flexing. Every female does it, you know.
status over other women. These two are talking about instantly. It gives them sort of like it's a story, right? That they can tell their friends and say, "Oh, yeah, this guy approached me. Oh my god, he was this, he was that, whatever." But also, it reassures them. Oh, right now I am still actually attractive.
Because women are reassured by their beauty, and men are reassured by their bronze. Like, women are reassured by how attractive they are, and like, men are reassured by how masculine and jacked and muscular they are. It is what it is.
Because a couple of years ago, I remember doing a video about women when they get older and they start to feel invisible. And it's because, like, when you're a young and attractive woman, you at least know that men notice you. And I think that for a lot of attractive young women, they feel important. They feel, oh, right, no, I have a place in society, and these guys are looking at me, they're checking me out. Even if they're not approaching me, I'm on their radar, right? They understand that I am a thing that matters in the grand scheme of male-female relationships. And so in society itself, I'm sort of put on the map. But what these women are really complaining about is, I think, that they feel that they aren't on the map anymore. And this is the same thing that the older women were complaining about. When women get to like their 40s and 50s, and men are no longer just checking them out. They no longer catch men just having a sideward glance, admiringly. Which, again, the feminists have done a superb job of stigmatizing this. But actually, I think for a lot of women, just quick.
It's the truth. Modern day feminism has made a hell of a job stigmatizing women, men, and everything. Like, the modern day woman is supposed to hate the way she looks, hate other women, hate men, blame men for everything, while expecting men to pay for everything. And if he can't do it, he's a fucking small dick piece of shit. I'm over here like,
Tangent on this. Think about the kind of women who are feminists. Very rarely the attractive ones, right? Very rarely the ones who are getting catcalled. So, in a way, feminism was kind of like a...
So you're telling me that women who don't get catcalled are fucking miserable, and they hate men for not noticing them? What if it's gender reversed? That man's an incel piece of shit loser. Got it. Totally makes sense, YouTube.
Negative mating strategy, and they've ruined it for the decent-looking women, and you can thank your sisters on that one. They were fighting for your rights, not to feel flattered when you're walking.
You can blame other people for it, yes, but take responsibility for yourself. If you got a shitty personality, it doesn't matter how attractive you really are. I'm watching this video on YouTube with this chick with her gut hanging out, wearing a hoochie mama top, showing off what little titties she has. And the dude's just like, so what's your biggest turn off on guys? And she says, guys who don't work out. I'm like, look, I know I'm not the prettiest or the handsomest when it comes to like everything. I don't expect my next girlfriend to be a supermodel, but goddamn, when you're gonna sit there and offer nothing to the dating scene other than drama, headache, and bullshit, you've got no room to fucking talk. You got ugly ass chicks who are complaining because there were no good-looking guys to date. Every good-looking guy they want to date doesn't want a piece of what they're laying down. It's hypocrisy at its finest. I'm just sitting here like, no.
Around at night in your best clothes, looking as gorgeous as you can. Like,
that's what I'm saying. Like, women are the gatekeepers of sex. All you gotta do is show up and say yes. This is why women get slut-shamed for sex. Is because guys do not have the female privilege. If a guy shows up and says yes, every chick will look at him and go, ew, no, get the fuck away from me. And that's mean, but it's the fucking truth.
Sisters have done this for you. But I think they're entering the same status as women who grow older. And so, when women get to like their 50s and men are no longer, they're no longer a presence on the radar. They're no longer, maybe she's maybe she'd be interested or something like that. That no longer happens because men just aren't thinking, okay, I want a 50-year-old woman. I'm going to pick up a 50-year-old woman. So it's one of those things that the older invisible women who didn't get married and don't have kids and don't have families. This is one of the things that, by the way, ladies.
You're telling me that women who approach not being married and having kids before 40, no, boxed wine and Catland. No, that's not what I said. Boxed wine and Catland. There we go. No, imagine that. Rape and sexism and all the horrible crap that men are accused of doing is only called out when they do it. But if women do it, you know what? I got mad respect for women. It is what it is. If my gender was put underneath too much pressure to give out sex, I would hate it too. But at the same time, when you know that women are put underneath too much pressure to give out sex, all they gotta do to get it is say yes. This is exactly why women get slut shamed.
Stop! Don't touch me there! This is my no-no square! Stop! Don't touch.
Because if like men had the same sexual prowess and power over getting laid that women had, and they were abusing it, and women were calling it out, and like if women said this and that about it, and they were told to check your female privilege and quit bitching about it, women would fucking lose their goddamn shit about it.
Touch me there! This is my no-no square! Stop! Stop! Don't touch me there! This is my no-no square! Stop! Don't touch me there! This is my no-no square! Stop!
Pretty much. Pretty fucking much.
You're going to want to get married and have kids so you don't turn into one of these invisible women.
And that's the problem with it. That's the bloody problem with it. I know people are getting sick and tired of listening to me bitch and complain. But like, there was way too much pressure on dudes to get laid and wife up a bitch. And there's like, way too much problems. Way too much with like women, who are expected to wife up and like have a family of their own kind of thing. So it's kind of bullshit. There is way too much pressure on women to have kids and way too much pressure on men to provide that kind of thing. And yeah.
It will happen to you too, because this is the nature of what the manosphere uncharitably but fairly calls the wall. You when you reach the menopause, frankly, you stop being a viable mate.
That's the thing of it. And that's not women's faults. By the time women reach 45 to 50 years old, their uterus is more dried out than a nun's cunt. Oh. And that, like, if men want to fucking procreate, they better find a woman who's in her 20s to 35s. There's too much pressure on women to get laid and, like, have a kid, and it's sad.
Evolutionary terms, and then that just means that men don't generally tend to check you out. And younger women, it seems, are actually encountering this first.
Because the reason why men are not giving you a chance is because, in their experience, and I hate to say it, but conventionally more attractive women are a lot higher in maintenance than, like, busted ass chicks. Because at least busted ass chicks know what they're worth on the dating scene. They know. You know, you have the attitude of take what I can get.
And so they're strategizing, what can we actually do to not be invisible? Because, we're still potential mates.
Because if women have to sit here and make some bullshit argument of what do we have to do to still be noticed amongst women, I'm like, so you're sitting there afraid because some bitch might call you a creeper or a rapist, and all you did was try to casually flirt with her, and then she'll bitch because no guy will flirt with her. I'm like, let women fucking dwell in their own sorrow. Eventually they'll figure it out. Let women dwell in their own sorrow, because eventually they'll figure it out. And by the time they figure it out, they'll either chase back to the same assholes that dated them, or they'll fucking chase after you. It doesn't matter. But playing it cool and having a hands off approach is the way to go.
What can be done? I mean, this is a fascinating video. This is absolutely fascinating. Let's watch this.
The dating scene is getting so bad.
So, like, this chick in New York City who's experiencing dating problems, it's gotten so bad, and these chicks are so desperate that they're literally stealing food from the men they're pursuing and then playing it off like, oh, I'm sorry, and like taking pictures of them without their consent. And I'm like, Jesus, women are just as creepy as men, are just as shallow. And when you call it out, nobody wants to hear it.
New York City that I am seeing on TikTok. There are girls going into Midtown during the week and stealing Finance Bros salads for lunch. And then looking their name up from the salad order on LinkedIn and then messaging them through there and being like, hey, oh my god, so sorry, I grabbed your salad. Like, let me just make it up to you and buy you a new one.
How about you don't squeeze chicks' titties without their consent? How about you don't steal people's food when they're trying to eat? Like, ugh, this making this video is mentally exhausting.
And that's how they're like sliding it, which honestly, smart. Why are we stealing men's salads? Like, that's why can't they just come up to us at a bar? Like, why is it getting to this point?
If you're so desperate for men to come up to you at the bar, you're willing to steal their food when they're trying to eat. No, because if it were gender reversed, you'd never hear the end of it. Stop.
And just please step up, or you're...
You want to ask men to step up? Okay. Well, then maybe women should stop being so fucking harsh and rejecting. Because, like, this idea of we gotta teach men not to be rapists. It's like, why can't we teach men and women to assume that not all men are rapists and that people just need to be nicer to each other? Like,
salad's gonna fucking get taken. Your lunch is gonna get taken every week. Like, I'm seeing girls get so creative these days. Like, they're making bracelets with their phone numbers on them and giving them to you guys.
because here's the thing of it: when women are too desperate to get laid, men pick up all that crap, and we don't want nothing to do with it unless we're in the mood to fuck. Versus like when men are trying too hard to get laid, and women are picking up on that crap. They're like, this guy's a sleaze. They won't give him a chance. And then they'll complain because no guy wants them. I'm just sitting here like, do 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 do.
At the bars, they are taking pictures of you sneakily and then being like, hey, oh my god, making it their phone screen and being like, hey, can you take a picture of me and my friends so you can see that your picture is their home screen? All just different ways to try to talk to you guys because you guys don't come up to us in New York City, and it's crazy.
Okay, some of that was weird. If I talked to a woman and she had my picture as her phone screen, I'm like,
Yeah, chicks were taking pictures of me without my consent. I'm like, that's a little bit creepy, dude. Because if we're gender reversed, it would be called out so quickly. This typical man hates, white person hates, like.
the hell's happening, man? Is this like some sort of weird, creepy Truman Show thing? But there we go. I mean, that is clever and creative. Oh, I took your salad by accident, blah blah blah. But this is what I mean. Like, women will signal that they're interested, but I guess if they're not getting approached at all, well, this is actually becoming a problem for them, isn't it? Again, there are loads of videos of very attractive
Like, if women are, like, concerned about these problems, and yet you're contributing to it, like.
women who are just like, why can't I get a man? And one can't help but feel that it might.
Like, women who are bitching because they can't get a man. When, like, women are the gatekeepers to sex. It is mentally fucking frustrating. All women have to do is show up and say yes. And then you're complaining because you expect men to be like this. We give you what you want, and it's not good enough. And then when we give you what you want a second time, you're still unhappy. And I'm like, okay, women are not this complicated. I know they're not. I'm not here to hate on the favorite sex for this shit. But when you watch this crap, how do you think I'm supposed to feel? When, like, the social media likes to perpetuate men as like a certain way, So, like, I get what you're laying down before you even complain about my videos.
Be a sort of confluence. I think technology definitely has a role to play in this, and the kind of unwinding of society and the shared social customs and traditions that instructed men and women on how exactly to actually meet one another. I think that is genuinely a thing that's happened, although I obviously can't quantify it in any way. But I also do think it's the feminism. I do think that, like,
Yeah, modern day feminism has taught women to hate themselves, hate other women, hate men, and blame men for everything.
a lot of men feel like they were essentially kind of beaten out of ever approaching women, and they said, Jesus Christ, I don't want to come across as like some insane creep or anything. But Lisa Britton here makes a good point. There's a trend of women asking.
There's a social media trend right now about women posting videos, frustrated that men aren't approaching them romantically instead of exploring the reasons behind the shift. Curiosity. Yeah.
what's wrong with men? Maybe they're asking the wrong question. And someone replies, well, they should hang out in the forest. I'm sure the bears would approach them. Well, touche. But this is something that a lot of men are worried about. They worry about coming off as creepy.
I'm like, men gotta stop worrying about if women think they're creepy. I'm like, well, you're a cunt, so I'm a pretty solid dude. I would protect women with my life, regardless of how pretty she is, because it's what men do. If you can't handle that, then that's not my problem.
And so it's like, well, there's the whole problem with feminism is that, I mean, there are lots of problems with feminism, but one of the main issues with feminism and why most women are not feminists. Right? I remember back in like 2014 or whatever, they were
the reason why most men aren't feminists is because when it comes to feminism, no one's allowed to care about your rights. It's like, oh well, fuck you. You're a part of the problem. It's like learning to make peace with your enemy would be a lot more successful than, as long as you ain't a goddamn sicko, who gives a shit?
Feminists be like, 80% of women agree with gender equality, and yet only like 10% of women call themselves feminists. Why? And it's because feminism contains within it a dark animus against men as men. They hate men, and they actually seek to destroy men. They seek to unseat them from their positions of power and authority because they're men, not because they've done anything wrong. They just are resentful and spiteful against men. And if these women were allowed to control the discourse for a decade, which they were, well, unsurprisingly, that does have consequences. That does have a knock-on effect that people go, oh, right, okay. If for some reason this is representative of women, and we all agree that the feminists represent women, well, then things change to, you get a natural and reasonable reaction to what is being broadcast. And so men are like, right, okay, I'm not allowed to approach women anymore. I don't want to come off as some guy of Mad Men or something, some dinosaur. And so,
how do you think women feel when they got resting bitch face? Because there are some women who just have that resting angry face, and people perceive them as, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, well, they can't help it, like.
a lot of men just won't, even if they.
And then all men want from women is a little bit of sex and like for you to be nice to us. Women want the same thing. Men to make them feel pretty and then to fuck them like the goddess that they are. It's just how it is.
See an attractive girl and they think, oh god, I wish I could. Apparently, a lot of them don't, and now the women are beginning to notice this. And a lot of men just have never approached a woman in person. And 70% of men say the number one reason.
I will say this. If I'm out in a park having a walk and I see a cute chick that I think's attractive and she's got a scowl on her face, I'm not going to approach her. I'm like, she's having a rough day, man. She's having a rough go at it. Like,
they don't approach women is fear of rejection. So this is another thing. Like, and this is something that when I was young, women actually how to say it. There was less need for performative cruelty, right? Because when I was young, there was no social media. You weren't going to record this, put it up. You weren't going to share it online and get loads of upvotes, likes, or.
because if a chick has a bunch of dudes that fucking like her, she gets a bunch of upvotes. Oh, you're just the most attractive thing. Or if it's gender reversed, he's a pig. He's a piece of shit. How dare he try to fucking,
Whether you like, there was no, a girl would tell like 3 or 4 of her friends, her close circle of friends.
Of course, she tell 3 or 4 of her friends. this cute guy is totally into her and she's going nuts over it.
And they'd titter and whatever when you walk by. But there was nothing really in being performatively sort of belligerent when rejecting someone. And so, honestly, and I know I'm going to sound like old man here, but when I was younger, I mean, there were plenty of girls that I thought liked me that I asked out and that didn't like me, and they were quite kind when they said, "Oh no, I no thank you," right? You know, I appreciate the offer, but no thank you. And that's rough, but it's not devastating. And within the next day, you just get over it and you carry on with your life. It's just the way that things go. Sometimes you roll the dice with someone that you either know or work with or whatever, and sometimes you don't get what you want. But I think that now there's a kind of hard edge to it, and I genuinely think it comes from feminism. I genuinely think it comes from a culture of thinking that men are basically oppressive, and
you get a culture where women are just seeing women as, where they see women being seen as objects, but realistically it's like men are being the ones seen as objects, and like if you can't comply,
kind of hateful, frankly.
Then you're just a hateful piece of shit,
And it's a culture that
And like people just hating each other because of their gender. It's fucking stupid.
genuinely stigmatized men, and I can definitely see that as a younger man now, I would definitely say it's scarier as a younger man now to approach a woman. I could see why, and I'm really, I think this is more of an American thing. I get the feeling that over in Britain, it's probably still not that bad. Although I have to say, I'm just judging from the young men I know in this age bracket that I know, because of course I never approach women. I don't go anywhere or do anything, with women at all. But I can see why younger men now would feel like it's more worrisome than it was when I was young. But maybe I'm overreacting. Honestly, I want to open this up to you guys in the comments, because honestly, I don't know, and I'm just. But there's got to be something to it, right? There's got to be something here, because it is weird that you get very beautiful women going, well, where the hell are the men? And
it's very beyond weird. You have mildly unattractive women bitching because there were no good guys to hit on. When you got ugly ass women throwing a fit because there were no good guys to fucking date and this and that. And then complain because every guy they ask out is just like, nope, I'm not having it. And then you get women who bitch and complain because every guy who hits on you is a creep. And then like you're like, okay, well, you know what? Not all guys are creeps. I understand that women are valued by their sexual appeal, and it's disgusting. So if I try to acknowledge it, I'm a piece of shit. If I don't acknowledge it, I'm not good enough to handle all the shit you lay down. Like, bruh.